Hello, welcome. Aaron Weber here with a bit of a summary on some of the, shall we say, detail PV, TV, OV, auto ship. For some that may be a new language, and that's okay. You'll learn it. For others it may be a review, but this is a short video to help you come to grips with these terms, how they work, how they interact, and how they are necessary building blocks in the building of your Unicity business. What we'll cover here are the definitions and then what to do as a consequence of those definitions. First of all, what each one stands for. A lot of V's going on here. PV, your personal volume. We'll define that later on. TV is your team volume. You can see based on the titles and the descriptions approximately what these are. OV is your organizational volume. That's all the volume in your business. And auto ship or auto refill, whatever you want to call it, no, it goes by a few different names. It's basically an automatic or standing monthly order. Now keep in mind, that can be changed online, it can be stopped, it can be, you've got complete control over that, so you're not locked in for some contractual period and some penalty if you don't. It's purely for a matter of convenience, so that, as you'll see later on, you can spend all of your time and attention on other much more productive endeavors. But these are the four things we're going to cover in this video today. Now keep in mind, as the saying goes, the devil is in the details. Well, in this case, it's not a devil. It's actually the reward is in the details. The dough, if you will, is in the details. Understanding the PV, TV, OV, and the need and the benefit of all of those and auto ship are crucial to you in having a trouble-free business, are helpful to you as you train people going forward. These are the competencies, the building blocks of your business, the necessary steps to take or the boxes to check or tick as you go along to ensure that you're doing the right things. More importantly, you're teaching and helping others do the right things and doing it in a maximally efficient way so that you and your people can focus on the higher yielding activities, knowing that the housekeeping, if you will, is taken care of behind you. First, here's how they work together, particularly with the volumes, the PG and OV. As you can see from these three concentric circles, PV is its own thing, but PV is completely contained within your TV. TV is completely contained within your OV. So OV is everything. That's your entire universe. Your TV, your team volume, is just your team, and we'll define that later on. And PV, your personal volume, is part of your team volume, but it is a uniqueness in and of itself. If you will, those first two circles, PV and TV, are significantly smaller proportionally than OV. You'll get to the point as your business grows where they may even become a pinprick in the middle of that OV. The overall goal here is to have OV be as grand and large and sustainable as possible. Notwithstanding that, your personal volume and your team volume need to be consistently at the amounts prescribed for obvious reasons, and we'll go through those. So here's how they work together. First of all, your PV as a subset of your team volume. Your personal volume requirement in the US plan anyway is 125. It's your personal volume. It's any volume that is done through your account ID number. Let's say your distributor ID number is 007 because you're cool. Any orders that are placed using that number are considered your PV. For example, I'm not suggesting you do this, if you gave that number to someone else and allowed them to order on your account, even though it's someone else's order, it's still your PV. It's all the products you order on your auto ship, all the products you order ad hoc, all the products you use for personal use, all the products you order through your ID that you may inventory and or resell to others. It's everything done through your personal account. In most cases, for a matter of convenience, it'll be done as part of your auto ship. My recommendation to people is to set up their auto ship for the required PV amount, which is 125. That way, the standing order of products they know they're going to use each month, they know they use consistently and religiously, comes to them automatically. That way, that box is checked. They don't need to worry about it anymore. Did I place my order? Did I not? It arrives at the day you designate. It doesn't arrive. It does arrive. Completely controlled by you. Highly recommend as part of the getting started session for yourself and for others, you set up your PV on a standing auto ship. Other reasons why as we go along. The next level is your group volume or team volume as it's known. This includes all your PV. So TV, notice there's two numbers there, 1,000 and 500. The 1,000 is for the first time you achieve the rank of manager. To maintain the rank of manager thereafter each month, it's 500. So obtain 1,000, maintain 500. It's called your team volume. Again, as the diagram indicates, and I've spoken about previously, it includes all your PV plus. There are 3 or 4 bullet points that you want to keep referring back to just to make sure you understand it. It'll take a few months of your own statements coming through for you to understand it completely. All the non-managers on your front line. So if I sponsor A, and A sponsored B, and B sponsored C, and they're largely just wholesale customers, but there's at least a genealogical connection then, none of them have made manager. All of their volume would count towards my team volume. So all non-managers, and any non-managers south of them by definition, their volume all counts towards your team volume. So in some regards, we actually like people that don't come in and do spectacular things because they help us check the box relative to team volume. The other thing is it includes all the first month volume by your new frontline people. If I go out and sponsor someone this month and they do 1,000 PV because they buy the manager pack, that 1,000 PV becomes part of my team volume. I've got at least that 1,000 of team volume. If I sponsor 5 people at 1,000, I've got 5,000 of team volume. That's a nice bonus on top of, because the way that you really consistently want to make your team volume is that last bullet point there, you get to count the auto ships of all your frontline managers. Case in point, your auto ship of 125, let's say you had 3 managers each with auto ship of 125, that's yours plus their 3, that is 4 times 125. What do you know? You've automatically qualified your team volume for that month without even thinking about it, without even lifting a finger. That's the value of the auto ship, because then you know you've checked 2 boxes, your PV box through your auto ship and your TV box through your and your frontline's auto ships, and you can be moving on to much more productive endeavors. Keep in mind, as a bit of small print here, all the first month's volume by new people, you only count up to that first 1,000 as part of your TV. If someone comes in and orders 10,000 points personally, you can only count 1,000 points of that towards your TV. TV is just a qualifier. It's just a number that gets checked. The computer calculates to know that you've qualified as a manager. That's all that it means. So it doesn't matter that you're not counting all of that. It doesn't change what you're paid or not paid. You're still paid under fast start and direct lifestyle bonus, all these sorts of things. It's purely a check the box requirement to ensure you're building some degree of either new volume or you're sustaining some degree of productive structure in the existing volume. And now your OV, which of course includes your TV and your PV. Basically, you want to maximize your organizational volume. It's all or your entire organization's volume. It's your PV plus your TV plus anything beyond that sphere. It's all volume. Think of you as a northerly point. It's all volume, you at the northernmost point, everything south of you. Simply put, it is every piece of volume in your business. It's just purely used as a measure sometimes, particularly at the higher ranks where there are OV requirements. And again, for OV, you want to have, simply put, as much as possible. So what's required? Back to this first month and thereafter. In your first month, and I put that in quotation marks because for most people that is chronologically their first month, but it's really the first month where you become a manager. My comment to that is, if you want to do that, you may as well do that in your first month chronologically and get it done with and move on and receive those ongoing rewards like the enhanced level of fast start and other such things as you go along. Most people I work with come in, focus on, and thereafter achieve that manager in their first month, both in the business chronologically as well as it's their first month of being manager. The requirement there is PV of 125, team volume of 1,000, and that includes your PV, remember. So maybe you do 125 and you cobble together, if you will, you cobble together the other 875 points of team volume from other people. That's okay. It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you have team volume, which again includes personal volume of 1,000 points. OV clearly is going to be at least 1,000. Usually will be more, but TV and OV in this case may actually line up and be the exact same thing. That's okay. You don't need an auto ship to ship that month because you're placing your order to start with, but something to be aware of for the go forward. In the thereafter months, months 2 and beyond, you want to maintain the manager rank. This is where it drops from that 1,000 TV to 500. So PV is 125, TV is 500. Again, OV is as much as possible. And you want to have your auto ship set up to ship in month number 2 of the requisite PV amounts, which are 125. Again, for a check-the-box purpose in the comp plan, but also, more importantly, for a matter of convenience and lack of distraction as we go forward. So, how do you achieve it first off? Well, you can do that buy it or build it routine we've spoken about ad nauseum. If you buy it, you do the 1,000 PV, which also doubles as your TV because one includes the other, and now you're done. If you build it, then the structure I recommend that I have seen used very successfully is the one diagram below there. You do 250, and then you find A, B, and C to exactly what you've done. Again, all you're doing is asking people to do what you've just done. The great thing with this structure is it not only qualifies you now in that first month, but it sets you up perfectly for later on in terms of maintenance. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other. If you buy it, wonderful. That's powerful. It's powerful for you. It's great signal value to your upline and certainly gives you a great working inventory. If you build it and you use that diagram there, that is also strong as well, and it gives you the advantage of being set up for the next month's activities. Which is this. 125 PV, again, done by auto ship, matter of convenience. 3 frontline people doing their 125 auto ships, those A, B, and C from the previous month that did the 250 as you did, demonstrated below. Guess what? Your team volume is done. 125 from you plus 125 each from A, B, and C. That's 500 TV. That box is done. See the value of 1, the structure, 2, the auto ship. That means your PV and your TV, those 2 boxes you want to make sure you check, are done. They're done automatically without any extra effort, without any worry, without any oopsies, I forgot to do something when the calendar has flipped over the page. You're set, you're done, which means you can focus your time, effort, and attention on so much more productive things. So, PV, TV, OV, auto ship. What are the action items? Well, 1, do your 125 PV as an auto ship. 2, have at least 3 frontline people doing likewise. Again, if you build it, you start with 250 for your first month, and it drops down to the auto ship of 125, which is the individual qualifier. Automatically thereafter, if you have 3 frontline folks, qualifies you in your TV. I cover that auto ship and that structure. It's a structure people want to become familiar with during the Getting Started session. I help them place their auto order, set it up, show them how to turn it off, change it, adapt it, move it, whatever they need to do. Great news is, on an ongoing basis, forever, assuming people stay with you, and they will because the products just work, your 500 TV is done. You plus 3 others, that's 4 folks, each doing 125 on auto ship. Your 500 TV requirement is complete. Then, as is always the case, help them find and help others do the exact same thing so that their PV and TV is done. Then the value is you and they and layers in your organization can spend all your time focusing on your organizational volume and its maximization, moving it from 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, keeping the appropriate legs and balance in place. All of the small but necessary issues of PV and TV are done. You can then spend all your time helping others do what they need to do, which of course maximizes the value of your business. That is PV, TV, OV, and auto ship, and how they interplay and how they are a benefit to you in your business, how they can help you focus on the key activities, how they can free you up to do those things that need to get done that maximize your return on invested time and in your Unicity business. Thank you.